Hello, Crypto Growth fam. Stronghold is floating under the radar, and how it can be the gatekeeper of finance in the future. It is building behind the scenes, and a few people realize what it is doing. Look at this. Everyone is watching ISO 20022 tokens and coins, but almost no one realizes that SHX is quietly acquired one of the most powerful ISO assets in the game, according to QNT Maxi. And still, people haven't figured out what SHX will be all about. It is one of the most underrated ISO 20022 projects out there, one of the most underrated utility gems out there. People oftentimes talk about XRP, hbar, and others, but when it comes to SHX, I know that it is not a smart contract platform. It is built on Stellar, but the use cases and the services it can provide to the world of finance, it can match any other good project. So it shouldn't be so underrated as it is now. Not just because of the tech, not just a sandbox, they bought the gatekeeper, and this is why they can also become the gatekeeper of finance in the process. So, what does Stronghold's acquisition of 20022 Labs really means? So let's check this out. Let me like this. Let me repost this. Okay, so QNT Maxi over here. So what is 20022 Labs, you might ask? It is basically the global hub for ISO 20022. People oftentimes talk about how ISO 20022 is the new messaging standard of finance, of banking, of technology. But oftentimes we forget that the 20022 Labs, it is a really huge platform for research, for education and training, for compliance tools, a full sandbox to simulate ISO message flows, endorsed by Visa, IBM, MasterCard, Payments Canada, and more. So this is huge. It is not to be taken for granted. But in May 2024, Stronghold acquired them. Yep, SHX holders now have exposure to one of the only organizations helping institutions implement ISO 20022 across the globe. So imagine this, folks. We often Sam says that these banks are adopting the new standard, the ISO 20022 standard. Now imagine this, an organization that is helping these institutions, these organizations, these banks, these multinational corporations to implement this standard. So how much of a huge deal this is? Acquiring this is huge. So this basically means that Stronghold is helping these institutions establish the ISO 20022 across the globe. So it is not merely a project that is in accordance with the ISO 20022 standards, but it is helping these institutions uh, integrate this standard into their systems. So look at this. Stronghold is owning the rails and the tools for compliance, basically. So the sandbox play is bigger than people realize. ISO 20022 adoption requires testing, simulation, validation. It is no easy task. If it needs to be up to par, it needs to be regulated, it needs to be dealt with. That is what 20022 Labs Sandbox is for, a real-time ISO message testing environment. So what good ISO 20022 is if it isn't fully optimized? So this is what the 20022 Labs does. It is not even about payments anymore, folks. So Stronghold is now touching ISO onboarding, data-rich message testing, compliance tooling, financial education for banks, advisory services for governments and fintechs. So this is huge in and of itself. No one is priced in. SHX can power sandbox access. SHX can validate ISO messages. We haven't truly realized how the token is going to be utilized in this new infrastructure. SHX can even become part of audit trails and compliance flows, and institutions may rely on SHX based infra to meet ISO regulations. It is no longer just a payments or rewards token like a lot of people have interpreted. Stronghold didn't just acquire a lab, they acquired the mindshare, the advisory layer, the ISO interpreter. So this is what we're talking about. Well, everyone is watching XRP, XLM, hbar, QNT, and others. SHX is integrating at the level above, where regulators, consultants, and central banks are already looking. This is what we're talking about. Oftentimes, SHX is taken for granted. People say that SHX isn't at the level of these other projects that we oftentimes cover. But Stronghold plus 2022 Labs equals full stack ISO compliance engine, number one. Number two, the sandbox monopoly. Number three, potential SHX token utility as compliance fuel. Obviously, we haven't truly realized what the utility can be, what the use cases can be of the token, because the platform isn't fully functioning yet or at least at that level in which a utility is going to be the driver, ignored by 99% of CT. So the infrastructure is winning in silence. It isn't hyping. It is not hype. It does not want that hype pump. This is chess. This is patience, and the fundamentals are obviously are locking into the place. Thank you, QNT Maxi, for such a great SHX post. He always covers QNT as well. Let me follow this channel as well, because I cover QNT as well as SHX, both phenomenal projects, folks. Look at this. This is SHX Stronghold 10 years ago. We're going to be looking at this video in a moment, 12 to 16 mark. Let me first share with you just a moment. Yeah, this post. Stronghold posted this 4 days ago. So Stronghold is transforming more than one industry, more than one sector. This is why the post said that it is no longer only about payments. It has come a long way. How blockchain is transforming insurance industry with smart contracts. So let's check this out. And obviously, Stronghold is going to be a part of this change. Tammy wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't the case.
No one wants to deal with insurance claims. They're complicated, they take forever, and they're painful. But do they have to be? What if insurance claims were processed automatically? Imagine instant payouts, zero paperwork, zero emails, zero delays, zero stress. This isn't some distant future. It's what blockchain technology is making possible today. I'm Tammy Camp, CEO of Stronghold, and welcome to your front row seat to the future of finance in action. Today, we're diving into how this technology is completely reimagining insurance, turning those zeros from mere possibilities into everyday realities. Today's insurance process is, well, from a different era entirely. It's clogged with redundant paperwork, frustrating phone calls, and enough fine print to make your eyes bleed. The average insurance claim takes 30 days to process, requires multiple touch points with different departments, and still has a significant error rate, all while you're waiting for help when you need it most. But what if all that friction was simply replaced with code? That's where blockchain and smart contracts come in. Here's how it works. A smart contract functions as a digital agreement with the rules and regulations programmed into it. The smart contract lives on the blockchain, where it is secure, tamper-proof, and completely transparent to all parties involved. To understand how this transforms insurance, let's take an example we all recognize: flight insurance. You're ready for a vacation, your flight is booked, bags packed, everything's ready to go. Then your flight gets canceled. In the traditional system, you'd start a painful claim process with forms, receipts, and follow-up calls. But imagine if the airline's cancellation data could be automatically verified and processed. A smart contract could potentially see this verified cancellation, confirm your insurance coverage, and then, with minimal human intervention, initiate the payment process. While we're not quite there yet for all scenarios, the basic infrastructure for this kind of automation is being built today. This represents a significant evolution of how insurance companies could operate. And we're already seeing new insurance companies embrace this digital-first approach. Companies that can offer auto insurance quotes in minutes, not days, using real-time data. Health insurers experimenting with automated claim processing for routine procedures. Those aren't theoretical concepts. They're business models that are launching and scaling right now. However, implementing these systems in practice involves significant technical and regulatory challenges that the industry is still working through. While blockchain integration is still emerging, the underlying principle, using technology to eliminate friction and increase transparency, is proven and scaling. The combination of digital infrastructure and blockchain verification could create insurance experiences that are both faster and more trustworthy. Those zeros I mentioned, they're becoming a reality through better technology and smarter business models. Want to stay ahead of the fintech curve? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. From blockchain to banking, we're breaking down the technologies reshaping finance in ways that actually matter to you. Have a fintech
Indeed, Stronghold wants to reshape finance, folks.
topic you want us to cover? Drop it in the comments below. And as always, stay strong.
Folks, Tammy isn't just covering these topics for nothing. I think that it goes a long way. These different industries, they truly might be in the radar of Stronghold. Let me share with you this post as well that can back up this hypothesis. This is Crypto Viking over here, how Stronghold can capture billions from insurance and still 20x from here. So the global insurance industry is worth $6.8 trillion, folks. Huge. But it is broken, obviously, outdated systems, paper-heavy processing, billions lots to fraud, as usual, no real-time settlement, just like in global trade finance, which XDC wants to fix. SHX might fix this. $4.5 trillion is paid out in insurance claims every year. Admin and processing inefficiency equals $500 to $675 billion wasted. A huge number. Stronghold's real-time compliant tokenized payment rails can automate this, reducing costs, fraud, and delays. And the industry can benefit a lot from Stronghold's take. So look at this, folks. This is Green Knuckles over here 10 years ago, but you'll hear CEO Tammy Camp discussing in 2015, folks. This is a really long time ago. It is now coming to fruition. Many of you have heard this. This is for the newer people coming into the asset. So if you're new to Stronghold, you might need to sink in from 12 to 16 mark, which we have already we have already forwarded to. Yeah, 1149. Let me play this.
Like that Facebook group, for example, you don't really need to migrate from that to another group. It's sort of like that. You don't need to have that thing. You can cancel it, and business is just going to go on, or like your life will go on.
And drop that copy, by the way, for those that want to listen to this.
There's nothing to migrate.
Oh, sure. Yes, exactly. Sure.
So then one thing I think, like I'm interested in, I think a lot of people will be interested in, is this idea of to go to these 40,000 people, 4 million people in 4 months. How does that happen? Like what?
Oh, so that's purely on referral. So we'll take PayPal. Actually, so it was a payments protocol. It enabled people to send money instantly for free in any currency, and so applications would go on top of it. Protocol meaning like SMTP. SMTP is the protocol that email runs off of, right? It's free, no one owns it, and we're basically building the same thing, or it's still in existence. We built the same thing, but for financial services, for remittances and like money transfers and stuff. So basically, what we built an education program into the mandate of what we were doing, and we just looked at PayPal because. Keith, it was actually funded by Stripe, which is the payment processing company, and then so Patrick Collison and Keith Raboy, which is in the PayPal mafia, were on the board, and they pointed us into the direction of looking at PayPal. Now, when PayPal started, it was back in the day where everybody they were very scared to move money on the internet, and they were having a hard time getting users. And what they did was give away $10 to people. They funded everybody's account $10, and that's basically what we did. We funded everyone's wallet with $10 worth of Stellar, which is the currency that's native to that protocol.
What's $10 worth of Stellar worth?
$10.
$10 like US.
Yeah, $10.
That's
$10.
That's $40 million. That's a lot of money.
So yeah, well, we gave it away. I think you can still get it now. The giveaway still going.
What's the site? Stellar.
Yeah, stellar.org. .org. So yeah, giving away free money, it works.
Okay, and then it's a case of, so how is this different to PayPal?
So PayPal is an application a service that sits on top of the existing payment system, ACH and SWIFT and FedWire, right? We're building a SWIFT 2.0, right? So all of those ACH, SWIFT, and FedWire have been built over the last 30 years. So a lot of that actually predates the internet. If you think about mobile phones, the penetration of 5 years has just been crazy. So having all of our financial services built off of technology that predates the internet, obviously needs upgrades. So this was our solution for that.
Okay. And then so when that happens, right? Because I think a lot of people would be like, people usually think when they're about quitting their job or building their business, they're thinking, well, I'm going to go and make 1,000 sales, make a couple $100,000. And here, I like the way you are and the way people in, say, Silicon Valley think about scale. You're not thinking, oh, let's get a couple hundred users. It's let's go get 4 million users.
No, we were thinking, let's go sign up the world. No, that's actually what the mission is to sign up the entire world to be on that protocol. Just like SMTP, think about email.
Yeah.
SMTP is a protocol that powers email, right? We want it to be as ubiquitous as email.
Okay.
Right? Why? You're looking at me.
No, I'm not. It's funny because I'm out of questions. You're saying, all right, we're going to build this thing where you get everyone in the world on it. And it's all right, well, cool. It's I don't even know what to say to that. I think it's awesome. I think it's because you've been to. This reminds me of not Silicon Valley, Singularity University.
Yeah.
Which you've been to. Is this one of those projects that stems from Singularity University?
It is.
So folks, what do you guys think about Stronghold being the gatekeeper of finance? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.